I'm Tripti Jain. So this video is all about CRR and SLR concept. Before starting today's video, there's a short announcement, that is, if you want to opt for any course on Unacademy, so you'll get a 50% off, and this offer is valid until February 23rd. So you can use my code, that is Tripti10, to opt for any course and you'll get a 50% off. It will include all the GSN CSAT mock test series if you're appearing in 2022, so it will be helpful for you. It will also include your performance index and in-depth analysis with the video solutions by the top educators. Then these are the new batches, that is UPSC Civil Services batches, and it will be bilingual Hindi English, and these courses have already started, that is on 19th Feb. So if you're appearing in 2022, so this is a prelims booster series which will be bilingual, and if you're not appearing and if you're planning to appear next year, that is 2023, so this is a course valid for you. You can opt for it. The seats are already booked and you can opt for it. So these are the different optional courses which have been launched in the month of February, and these are the different educators for different subjects, so you can have a look at these too. And this is the score booster test series, which is free of cost, which is actually on every Sunday, and 15 questions in 15 minutes if you are planning to appear in 2022, and 5 subjects will be covered from Monday to Friday, and the timings are 10 a.m. Okay, so getting back to our lecture, that is the topic for today, that is CRR and SLR. You must be aware of these terms. So before starting talking about and discussing about these terms in detail, that is CRR and SLR, let's talk about the technical terms. Like SLR is statutory liquidity ratio and CRR is cash reserve ratio. See, the definition says SLR is expressed as a percentage of net demand and time liabilities, that is NDTL of banks. So before getting into depth analysis of CRR and SLR concept, I'll explain you the concept of NDTL basically in detail. So this is the basics for economics to understand each and everything. So you don't have to mug up everything. So this is basically NDTL, that is net demand and time liabilities. For example, like there is a person A and there is a person B. If A gives rupees 100 to B, so B will return in some time at a certain rate of interest. So for A, this 100 rupees will be an asset because A will get in return and B has to return. So for B, this 100 rupees is basically a loan. So similarly, in bank's balance sheet also, there are certain assets and certain loans, like that is liabilities. So liabilities are expressed as demand liabilities and time liabilities. So NDTL is a concept which is further divided into demand liabilities, टाइम लाइबिलिटीज़ एंड अदर लाइबिलिटीज़. ये हम इसलिए पढ़ रहे हैं क्योंकि बैंक की बैलेंस शीट में ये कॉन्सेप्ट है. बैंक की अगर आप बैलेंस शीट देखेंगे, कुछ एसेट्स होंगे तो कुछ लाइबिलिटीज़ होंगी. तो ऐसे ही जो लाइबिलिटीज़ है वो फर्दर डिवाइडेड है. कुछ डिमांड लाइबिलिटीज़ होती है, कुछ टाइम लाइबिलिटीज़ होती है, कुछ अदर लाइबिलिटीज़ होती है. और ये कॉन्सेप्ट हम इसलिए पढ़ रहे हैं क्योंकि जो CRR का कॉन्सेप्ट है और जो SLR का कॉन्सेप्ट है वो इसी कॉन्सेप्ट से डिराइव हुआ है. सो लेट्स बिगिन द कॉन्सेप्ट. See, liability is divided into time liability and next is demand liability. Time liability, the keyword is here is time. Time means कुछ time liability है, कुछ fixed period है. There is a fixed period basically for this liability, or I can say there is a maturity period, or I can say the lock-in period. So these terms are the same, basically fixed period, maturity or lock-in period. So time liabilities is basically that there is a fixed time for the deposits. So it will include all the fixed deposits with the banks. Then certain gold deposits. If you deposit gold in the bank, you'll earn a certain rate of interest for a certain period of time. So that will be included under time liabilities. Then certain recurring deposits are also there. So they are under time liabilities. Now comes the demand liability concept. See, demand, the word is saying on demand basically. कि अगर suppose if I am going to a bank and demanding my money, like if I go to a bank and I demand rupees 100, so bank cannot deny it. So that will come under demand liability. Like ATM deposits, ATM, it will come under demand liability. The net banking basically, it will also come under demand liability. Demand is basically on demand, immediately. instantly I'll get the money. Bank cannot deny. The saving deposits, it will also come under demand liability. The current account deposits, the current deposits with the bank, it will also come under demand liabilities. All the cash transfers, it will be covered under demand liabilities. So these are the liabilities of a bank, that is time liability, demand liability. Now next concept is other liabilities. As I said you that this is a concept NDTL. First is demand liabilities, second is time liabilities, and other liabilities. So other liabilities will include all the deposits of a certain banks with other banks. Then one is cash collaterals also. There are certain cash collaterals. It will be included under other liabilities. So this was the concept of NDTL. So for example, if I say NDTL, that is demand liabilities plus time liabilities, which we have discussed in detail, and subtract, that is other liabilities. And this also I have discussed what all it includes. So this is the concept of NDTL. Now comes the concept of CRR and SLR. See, CRR is basically cash reserve ratio. CRR, that is cash रिजर्व, मीनिंग कुछ कैश जो है वो रिजर्व हो रहा है, मतलब कैश की सेविंग्स हो रही है. सो दैट इज द कॉन्सेप्ट. कैश जो है वो सेव हो रहा है, रिजर्व हो रहा है. सो दिस इज द मेन डेफिनेशन. और CRR जो होगा वो कैश की फॉर्म में होगा, बिकॉज हेयर द कैश इज द की वर्ड. So it is the certain percentage of the NDTL that we have discussed. What is NDTL? That is the liability of a bank. It includes all the liabilities. So उसका कुछ percentage amount होगा, वो होगा कैश की फॉर्म में, दैट अ बैंक हैज़ टू कीप विद द RBI. जो बैंक है एक, वो डिपॉजिट करवाता है RBI के साथ. RBI के पास अपना कैश जो है वो डिपॉजिट करवाएगा कुछ परसेंटेज NDTL का. सो दैट इज CRR. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ से NDTL is rupees 100 and the certain percentage, that is say 10%, so of NDTL, that is CRR. For example, this is just an example. So 100 rupees का 10% कितना होगा? That is rupees 10. तो rupees 10 जो है वो बैंक के लिए CRR है, और ये जो है वो कैश की ही फॉर्म में होगा. It will be deposited with the RBI. So this is the concept of CRR. Now this is included under RBI Act 1934 and कैश की फॉर्म में है. सो कैश जो है उसकी वैल्यू ज़रूर बढ़ती है, बट इट अर्न्स नो प्रॉफिट, एंड सिंस इट इज़ डिपॉजिटेड विद द RBI, सो बैंक का कोई इतना बेनिफिट नहीं है. तो बैंक क्योंकि कोई प्रॉफिट अर्न नहीं कर रहा, कोई इंटरेस्ट अर्न नहीं कर रहा. लेकिन मेन थिंग इज अबाउट CRR इज दैट इट एक्ट्स एज अ बफर बेसिकली. सो बफर दैट इज, अगर सारे कस्टमर्स हाइपोथेटिकली पहुंच जाए बैंक के पास एक ही बारी में और डिमांड करने लग जाए पैसा अपना, तो CRR देन कम्स इनटू पिक्चर. नहीं तो ऐसा तो दिवाला निकल जाएगा बैंक का, तो बैंकरप्सी का केस हो जाएगा. सो इसलिए CRR कॉन्सेप्ट इज इम्पॉर्टेंट बिकॉज टू सेव दिस सिचुएशन. नाउ कम्स अनदर कॉन्सेप्ट, एंड फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल CRR में एक और चीज़ें हैं इंपॉर्टेंट, दैट इज CRR इज मोर एक्टिव एंड यूजफुल मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी वेपन एज कम्पेयर टू SLR. And RBI changes CRR to manage the liquidity in the economy. And CRR जो है basically हर बैंक नहीं रखता है. So CRR में important points basically है CRR में, that is RBI Act के अंदर है ये, that is 1934. It is only in the form of cash only. Second is only the scheduled commercial banks. It is mandatory for these banks to maintain the CRR. And also the commercial banks, it is mandatory. But a certain category of banks, that is non-banking finance company, so उनके लिए mandatory नहीं होते non-banking financial banks or financial companies. So it is not mandatory for them to maintain the CRR. And also the mutual funds or the mutual funds companies, they don't have to maintain the CRR. So this was the main concept of CRR. Now comes the main concept of SLR. See, first we'll read the definition. SLR is expressed as a percentage of NDTL of banks. As I told you that NDTL से ही दोनों derive हुए हैं. So SLR is expressed as a percentage of deposits. So for example, it is the minimum percent of deposits that is kept by the commercial banks. So basically SLR is a certain portion or a percentage of NDTL जो बैंक्स अपने साथ ही रखता है. CRR में क्या था, बैंक्स जो है वो RBI के पास डिपॉजिट करवा रहा है पैसा, और SLR में अपने पास ही रख रहा है बैंक्स. सो इट कैन बी इन द फॉर्म ऑफ कैश, इट कैन बी इन द फॉर्म ऑफ गोल्ड, it can be in the form of securities, that is government securities, which are actually secure, or they are known as gilt-edged securities. So SLR is basically, it gives a control over credit growth, I can say this, and it has to be deposited with the bank itself, because ये deposit नहीं होता है RBI के पास. So अगर SLR is breached, अगर कोई बैंक है वो NDTL मेंटेन नहीं कर पाया, दैट इज कैश के डिपॉजिट्स, गोल्ड के डिपॉजिट्स या गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटीज़ के डिपॉजिट अगर मेंटेन नहीं कर पाया, या SLR की जो लिमिट है, परसेंटेज है, वो ब्रीच हो गई, या बैंक्स मेंटेन नहीं कर पाया, देन दी बैंक्स आर पीनलाइज्ड, दैट इज ऑन दी बैंक रेट, दे आर पीनलाइज्ड. एंड बैंक रेट आई विल डिस्कस इन अनदर वीडियो. सो अब ये SLR का मेन कॉन्सेप्ट है कि किस बैंक को मेंटेन करना पड़ता है. सो ऑल दी कमर्शियल बैंक्स हैव टू मेंटेन SLR, दैट इज सेम, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल that is the RBI Act 1934. Then all the commercial banks has to maintain the SLR, it is mandatory. All the cooperative banks also, it is mandatory. And here there is profit earned because it is in the form of cash, gold and government securities, and it has to be kept with the bank itself. सो देर इज़ अ प्रॉफिट अर्न ऑन इट, क्योंकि अगर गोल्ड की वैल्यू बढ़ती है तो इंटरेस्ट या प्रॉफिट अर्न होता है बैंक को, तो बैंक को फ़ायदे में है, तो बैंक के लिए फ़ायदा है. सो इट इज़ नॉट टू बी डिपॉजिटेड with RBI, so not with RBI basically. This is important fact for prelims, and they maintain in their vault. So this was the main concept of SLR and CRR. Now we'll move to the differences basically, that is SLR and CRR, that is the expansionary and monetary and contractionary policies. One is the expansionary policies. Expansionary policies are used for basically growth purpose, to increase the growth, to increase the GDP, to increase the savings basically, to increase the investments. So this will occur when the interest rate are low. When the CRR is low or decreased, the SLR is also decreased, because it will provide cheap loans to the public. So if SLR is decreased, there will be more money with the banks, more money in the system, in the economy. Interest rates are decreased, there will be more loan taking capacity, because सस्ते हो जाएंगे loans, cheap loans will be provided, so loan taking capacity will increase. There will be more business expansion, because लोन जो होंगे वो ज़्यादा लेंड हो पाएंगे, सो बिजनेस एक्सपैंड होगा उससे, मोर जॉब्स ऑफर होंगे, देर विल बी मोर परचेजिंग पावर, मोर कमोडिटी डिमांड ऑल्सो, एंड कमोडिटी प्राइस विल ऑल्सो इंक्रीज. सो दिस इज दी बेसिकली एक्सपेंशनरी पॉलिसी. एंड सेम वाइस वर्सा इफेक्ट होगा कॉन्ट्रैक्शनरी पॉलिसीज़ का. Contractionary policies is basically to control the inflation, where growth will decrease but it will remain positive, and the interest rate जो होंगे वो increase हो जाएंगे. So less purchasing power होगी, less commodity demand, and commodity price will also be decreased. So this was the main concept of the expansionary and contractionary policies. So let us discuss the primary purposes of the cash reserve ratio. Since a part of the bank deposit is with the RBI, as I told you that cash reserve ratio has to be maintained with the RBI, it ensures the security of the amount, क्योंकि वो अमाउंट जो है वो सिक्योर रहेगा, क्योंकि RBI के पास है, तो वो पैसा खर्च नहीं कर सकता कोई भी बैंक. So it makes it readily available when customers want their deposits immediately. And also CRR helps in keeping the inflation under control. At the time of high inflation in the economy, RBI increases the SLR and the CRR. So increase हो रहा है, so that is basically a contractionary policy. So contractionary policy is used to control the inflation, so that banks need to keep more money in the reserves, so that they have less money to lend further. So this was the main concept of CRR and SLR. And how does CRR help in the times of high inflation? because the government needs to ensure that excess money is not available in the economy. To that extent, RBI increases the CRR, that is the contractionary policies, to control the inflation. Now there is a concept of incremental CRR. This is the last concept. So incremental is basically to increment, to get an increment additional. So additional CRR means कि CRR that is 4% currently. So उससे भी ज़्यादा. तो अगर जब बैंक्स है लाइक डिमोनेटाइजेशन हुआ था तो सडन देयर वाज अ सरप्लस ऑफ डिपॉजिट्स इन द बैंक. सो अगर सरप्लस होगा डिपॉजिट्स का, दिस वुड एक्चुअली लेड द बैंक्स टू लेंड मोर एंड मोर, एंड जो इकोनॉमी में पैसा था, लिक्विडिटी थी, वो ज़्यादा थी उस वक्त. सो ऑब्वियसली इन्फ्लेशन बढ़ेगी. तो इन्फ्लेशन बढ़ेगी तो CRR जो है, आई टोल्ड यू दैट CRR कम्स इन टू पिक्चर ड्यूरिंग द इन्फ्लेशन. So therefore a different CRR is used for the deposits from a particular date to basically to absorb the excess liquidity. Then the incremental CRR comes into picture. So this was the concept of CRR, SLR and NDTL, because NDTL से ही derive हुए हैं दोनों concepts, that is CRR and SLR. Hope you have understood, and if there is any doubt you can ask in the comment section. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone.